show up.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay.
I got a microphone after all.
Is Becky out soon? She's out. Trey has his final powerlifting meet in my hands, so she wanted to be there for that.
You never want to miss the opportunity to go to my hands.
Double trouble. Good to see you.
All right, I'm going to call this meeting of the Sweetwater City Council to order and ask Corey Stroman, Assistant Police Chief now, to do the invocation this morning, and Councilman Peak to lead us through the pledges.
You'll pray with me. Heavenly Father, we come to you in prayer today, and we just thank you for this beautiful day, and we thank you for allowing us all to be here. We just pray that you would be in these chambers, and just that you would bless these men, and just bless our community as a whole. Pray for continued blessing over the city of Sweetwater and the state of Texas, and just everywhere. Be with those that are dealing with the Ukraine and Russia conflict, and we lift all of those people up to you. And again, just pray blessings over that as well. These things pray in your name. Amen.
Amen. Please join me in the pledge to our nation and our state. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Honor
The Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
All right, we'll now move to item 4, which is discuss, consider, and act upon approval of minutes for meeting held on February the 8th, 2022.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried and approved. Okay. Item 5 calls for public input. At this time, anyone is allowed to speak on any matter other than personal matters or matters under litigation for a length of time not to exceed 3 minutes. No council discussion or action may be placed on the matter until such matter has been placed on an agenda and posted. Is there anyone who wishes to speak? Whichever one will.
Please go ahead.
You have 3 minutes. You may begin, sir.
Gentlemen, the city council, at the direction of the chief administrator of the city, i.e. the city manager, has endorsed unconscionable rates of lake lot leases. From 2021 to 2022, $150 increase, that's 25% increase year to date. By action of the city commission, the city may increase the rent with written notice to tenant, the rent increase notice. A notice is an announcement or an intimation of something pending, a warning, to give notice to service with a notice. And in fact, on 2/23 of this year, we indeed did get a notice. No city services maintenance. The tenant acknowledges that the city shall not provide any services to the leased premises, including but not limited to maintenance of roadways to or from the leased premises, fire protection, police protection, utilities, water and wastewater, and trash removal. The tenant must pay all personal and property taxes to the county of Coke. What services are the city providing? Maintenance of the spillway, the dam, properties on abandoned issues. They are not RV or beach areas. There's only one dam at Oak Creek Lake. Commercial individuals are handling the areas around their properties. Lake lot revenue is not a designated fund and is being used to support the general fund's many departments and activities. Why that isn't in the water department revenue is not known. So we have Coke County property taxes, maintenance of the property, septic lift, water, electricity, trash removal. In summary, a 25% increase in the last 2 years is totally unreasonable. The lessees want the city council to reverse the unwarranted 25% high tax increases. Somewhere between 75 and 100 people that are lessees are retired fixed income people. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Kurt Hamlin. I am here representing the leaseholders of Lake Sweetwater. And we have also been in connection with the leadership out at Oak Creek. He has already covered a lot of our complaint. In the last 18 months, our leases have gone up 25%. And looking at those 25% increases, little to nothing of that is coming back for any kind of improvements, maintenance, or repairs, anything to do out at the lake. In a meeting that we had at Lake Sweetwater, I asked the question, has anyone seen a city truck or a crew at the lake doing any kind of work? The only thing that was there was that it happened to be you were mowing the dam. There's a question about, and has been for a long time, that there's a leak in the dam. But none of these funds have been going to repair that leak. And so we have absolutely no resource. I asked the city manager, and I asked some of the folks on the council if we could be put on the agenda, and I was told straight out, no, we didn't warrant it. And honestly, we're getting a little fed up with the we won't, we don't, you can't attitude. That's slumlord kind of attitude, gentlemen, and I think we deserve more than that. So we're left to what are our options? And so we have been discussing, nothing has been voted on, nothing has been settled at this point. But I'll give you a couple of ideas of options that we're looking at. Number one is to get legal representation and sue the city. Don't really want to do that, to be honest with you. It's going to tie up a lot of things legally for years on end, and the only people that are going to come out on the positive end of that is going to be a bunch of lawyers. There's another option that we're looking at. This one, I kind of lean toward this, and that is an economic boycott of Sweetwater. If you take the lake lot leaseholders in Oak Creek and Sweetwater and combine them together, you've got approximately 500 to 600 families represented. You take is that my time?
Yes, sir.
All right. Just consider a boycott, though, would do some economic damage here in Sweetwater out of that many people.
Is there anyone else who wants to speak? Okay. We'll now move to item 6A, which is discuss, consider, and act upon award of construction contract for the standby generator at the water treatment plant utilizing American Rescue Plan funds.
Good morning, Mr. Mayor and Council. For the record, my name is Sage Diller with DHT. As you will recall, the city desired to install generator at the water treatment plant. This has been discussed for years as an option, but with the ARPA funds becoming available, it was decided to go out for bids and collect bids for that improvement. So project was designed and advertised. There were 5 bids received for that project. The low bidder is Fort Worth Electric Services in the amount of $759,000, $191 at 400 days. Those proposals were ranked and scored, and it was determined that Fort Worth Electric provided the best proposal in the interest of the city. So at this point in time, we are recommending that Fort Worth Electric be awarded the project. The estimate on the project was $1,190,000, so that proposal came in under what was estimated. And 400 days is a little longer than we desired, but given the market right now, the delivery time for generators, it is within that range of what's expected. So we feel like the $759,191 price is reasonable. Any questions?
Thanks, sir. Any questions?
Move we award the bid to Fort Worth Electric.
All set. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Okay, we'll now move to item 6B, which is discuss, consider, and act upon award of purchase contract for the trailer-mounted standby generators utilizing American Rescue Funds.
All right, this item refers to the standby generators for the well field. This proposal provides up to 6 generators. Once again, the project was advertised. 2 bids or 2 proposals were received, one being Altera Power Systems and the other from Dowtech Specialty Contractors. The proposals were ranked and scored, and Altera Power Systems is the highest ranking proposal. That amount for the 6 generators is $489,240. That's a little higher than what we had estimated, where our number was around $400,000. There again, given the environment of generators and every entity out there wanting to get generators, we feel like this is a reasonable price, and their delivery is estimated at 140 calendar days. We're recommending award of the proposal or award of the contract to Altera Power Systems in the amount of $489,240.
Any questions?
Move we approve or award the contract to Altera Power Systems for the 6 trailer-mounted standby generators.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried and approved.
Mayor, I have a question. Sage, if you got just another minute, please.
Sure.
Regarding the cost, how did our estimates mesh with what the actual numbers were?
So, let me pull up this table here. On the 3 projects that we were looking at, generators, our estimate was $1.7 million, and the proposals came in at a collective total of $1.41. So that's about $350,000 under what we had estimated. All total, I believe the city received around $2.6 million. The total of these generators is about 1.7, so that's a little over $1 million remaining for ARPA funding.
Okay, very good, thank you.
Did we get this settled?
It's ready to go. It's ready to go, sir.
Okay, we'll now move to item 6C, which is discuss, consider, and act upon the meet and confer agreement between the City of Sweetwater and the Sweetwater Patrol Officers Association. Any questions of Lisa?
Make a motion we approve the Sweetwater Police preferred agreement.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried and approved.
Can I say anything to this, Can I say anything? I'd just like to thank the members of the Sweetwater Police Patrol association, especially the leadership that was involved with staff in getting us to this point. This agreement expired at the end of December of 2021, but we needed a few months to get back on track and get this approved by the Patrol Association and by city staff, and we're now bringing this to the council. So I want to thank everybody for all their hard work. Lisa and Patty, Chief Sheridan, Corey, thank you for your work on this, and the folks that you lead, their work on this as well. I think it was a good process. It brought us closer, in my opinion, together as management and staff of the Police Patrol Association. I think that's always a good thing, where you can utilize processes to increase trust among the two parties. So I just want to thank everybody for their involvement in this, and thank the council for ratifying this agreement this morning.
Thanks, sir. Okay, we'll now move to item 6D, which is discuss, consider, and act upon an ordinance to amend Chapter 7 of the Sweetwater Code of Ordinances, adopting the 2018 edition of the International Building Codes, the 2020 National Electrical Code, and the North Central Texas Council of Governments amendments for all codes.
Excuse me, Mayor and Council, Dana Shanning, Assistant City Manager for Operations. What you have before you is, as you stated, an ordinance to amend Chapter 7. This would be adopting our building codes up to 2018 for what we call the International Building Code, and up to 2020 for the National Electric Code. Currently, we have our International Building Code, our International Residential Building Code, our International Gas Code, Mechanical Code, Plumbing Code, Fire Code, and Energy Conservation Code at 2012. And so we're behind a few years. The last time the codes were updated was in 2013 by the City Council, and we're on the 2011 National Electric Code, and we want to bump that up to 2020. These are reasonable updates. Most cities are at the 2018 IBC or the 2020 NEC, and there's other reasons why we need to consider this. It's affecting some other things that we do, some insurance ratings and certain things for the city, because we get downgraded a little bit because we're on our 2012s, and it is strongly recommended that we bump it up to at least 2018. And we considered going higher, but the jury's still out on some of those newer codes, so most cities are going at this level, and then we'll come back in a couple years and consider a little bit higher standard as well. So this is really the proposal. I think that most of the contractors that we deal with here in the city, if they're working in other cities, they're already on the 2018s. We did schedule a meeting on February 15th, 2022, not too long ago, to invite contractors that do work in the city of Sweetwater to advise them that, you know, you're going to consider the changes. We didn't have a lot of participation, but I think it's because they already knew it was coming, and they've already had to work with the 2018s and the 2020 for NEC. So I don't think it's a surprise at all to any of our local contractors who are already aware of this, where they work in other places. I guess we have an option for our International Fire Code. There's an option A and an option B. Not to get into the specifics, but option B is a little bit stricter code, and it reflects more of what our needs are for our fire department and equipment needs down the line. I think I won't ask James to get up and explain that at all, but he had reviewed it, and we're in agreement that a little bit higher standard for that is better, and that's option B. And we have a gentleman here, Steve Nenast, who is with the Bureau Veritas group. They had kind of managed the development of this ordinance and reviewed also the amendments. What we're asking in this process is we have had them reviewed by the North Central Texas Council of Governments. They have reviewed these for regional perspective, or what works better in our region. So there are some amendments, exceptions in those codes that better reflect Sweetwater's situation. Any questions that you may have as a council, I'm glad that Stephen is here, and he's right over there. It can answer any questions on the process or any specific code questions I think that we are asking you to consider here today. It's a lot of update, but I believe it makes a lot of sense, and I think the recommendation is to move forward with this update.
If we do the motion, do we need to say International Building Codes option B? Or just?
Yes.
You say option B, okay.
Dana, can you tell us a little bit about the outreach that we made to local contractors to get their input on this?
Yes, so we keep a listing of local contractors that have applied for permits. It's your plumbers, your electricians, mechanical contractors, just general contractors. We sent them out a letter and invited them to a meeting and explained really in that letter what we were trying to accomplish here. And if they had any questions, they wanted to come and listen to a presentation by Stephen and some others from the Veritas folks that are very knowledgeable about building codes. Many of these folks have been building officials in communities in Texas and all across this state. So they're very, very familiar and very knowledgeable about this. So they were there to answer anything that might come out as a result of that meeting. So that was our outreach. We wanted to do that to give everybody an opportunity to be here and to inquire why we're doing this and what we're doing. And so we were hoping that we would get support. And I think we do have that support based on the fact that we didn't have a lot of participation, but we had some inquiry into our office and let them know that we had this meeting and they can attend. It was right here in this chambers, and so that was our outreach.
Okay, thank you.
I move we adopt the 2018 edition of the International Building Codes, Option B, the 2020 National Electric Code, and North Central Texas Council of Governments amendments for all codes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Now read the ordinance into the record. An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Sweetwater, Texas, amending the Sweetwater Code of Ordinance, Chapter 7, Article 2, Section 7 to 16, regarding adopting the 2018 edition of the International Building Codes and Residential Building Codes, Article 2, Section 7-17, Paragraph 910, deleting Article 2, Section 731, regarding adopting the 2018 Gas Code, Article 4, Section 746, regarding adopting the 2018 Mechanical Code, Article 5, Section 7 through 61, regarding adopting the 2018 Plumbing Code, Article 7, Section 7 through 95, regarding adopting the 2020 Electrical Code, Article 8, Section 7 through 265, regarding adopting the 2018 International Energy Conservation Code, Chapter 10, Article 1, Section 110 through 1, regarding adopting the 2018 International Fire Code, and Section 10-2, deleting, and the adoption of the NCT COG amendments for all codes, providing for a penalty for violation of the ordinance not to exceed $2,000, providing for saving servability and repealing clause, providing for an effective date, and providing for the publication of the caption hereof. Whew. Now move on to item 6E, which is discuss, consider, and act upon approval of the comprehensive and annual financial report audit for the fiscal year ending September 30th. Ms. Wills.
Before I begin with the results of this year's audit, I'd like to mention that the city did receive the GFOA Award in Reporting Excellence for their 2020 audit report. So congratulations to the city and particularly to the finance department on that achievement. For this year, the opinion on the financial statements as a whole, in my opinion, the financial statements referred to above present fairly in all material respects the financial position of the governmental activities and all other activities of the city. And then the second letter, excuse me. You want me to tell you what page I'm on or just go?
Just go.
Okay, all right, thank you. Internal control over financial reporting. This is your letter in regard to government auditing standards. I did not identify any deficiencies in internal control that are considered to be material weaknesses. However, material weaknesses may exist that were undetected. Compliance and other matters. The test disclosed no instances of noncompliance that are required to be reported under government auditing standards. And your third opinion letter, in regard to your single audit uniform guidance. In my opinion, the city of Sweetwater complied in all material respects with the types of compliance requirements referred to above that could have a direct and material effect on each of its major federal programs. So, clean opinions across the board. And answer any questions or go into more detail on anything in particular.
Move approval of the comprehensive annual financial report.
Second.
Thank you, Kathy.
Okay, thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Now moved on to item 6F, which is discuss, consider, and act upon a lease contract with Mr. Russell Taylor for operating of the Lake Sweetwater Golf Course. Any questions for Dan?
Mayor and Council, the next two items are referring to really the Lake Sweetwater Golf Course. I was able to pull Rusty from the golf course this morning, and I promised him he wouldn't have to give any kind of a presentation. So we're glad Rusty's here. The reason I felt it was good to have Rusty here was if there was any questions you may have regarding this, but also to let everybody know that we've really done a nice job at the Lakewater Sweet Golf Course. And the reason for this extension is because of that. And so Rusty's been really working the lease and the operating agreement since 2017. He took it over from a gentleman that was here before. And so 5 years has come by, and now it's time to renew the lease contract and the operating agreement. This would be for a 5-year period. It would expire March 31st, 2027, and then there's one additional period of 5 years if Rusty and Mary, they're both a team, and they work very well if they want to extend beyond that 5 years. And so that's what this lease is about. The lease contract is really for the premises, the golf course, the clubhouse, the rock house, and those kinds of things that are maintained as part of this lease agreement. The operating agreement is really how the golf course is managed, selling, marketing, managing the golf course very specifically. So the recommendation here is to renew the lease contract with, I guess, Russell Taylor. We call him Rusty, but his real first name is Russell, and Mary, and thank them for everything that they've done at this point. And so the recommendation is to move forward with another renewal.
Make a motion, we do the lease contract for 5 years.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried and approved. Now move to item 6G, which is discuss, consider, and act upon Lake Sweetwater Golf Course operating agreement with Mr. Russell Taylor for operation of the Lake Sweetwater Golf Course.
Move adoption of the operating agreement.
Second.
Who's second?
All three of them.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried and approved. City Manager's Report.
Yes, sir. Just want to go over a few things here. The training room at the police department has been updated and outfitted. Let me see if I can get this going. With the latest and greatest tech, we're looking at those additional screens that you see up there on our screen, as well as that whiteboard. I think Chief Sheridan's doing a good job at outreach to local area agencies to have them come over and utilize our space. That's what it was meant for. We want to be a regional leader when it comes to training here in the big country, and so this helps us achieve that goal. And so we've really had very positive feedback from the folks that have been attending and utilizing the training space. And this was purchased with donation monies that were donated to the Sweetwater Police Department. And so I just wanted to point that out to y'all this morning. See if I can get this thing to work. There it is. So great job to Zach and Chief Sheridan and everybody involved with that. We really appreciate it. And then the next item is the Creekside development, and Misha, if I'm leaving anything out, please let me know. But they started working on this probably a couple of weeks ago, and you can already see the progress that they've made in clearing that area for development. Now this is the 94 lot subdivision that's going up on the northeast side of town here in Sweetwater. It's called the Creekside development. And there will be a ribbon cutting on Monday, the 14th at 10 a.m. on the site. So everybody here is invited. We hope to see you all out there. And there's another couple of pictures of just how fast and effective they've been in moving that dirt and clearing the land for development. So this is a big deal in Sweetwater. I don't know if people realize just how big a deal this is, but to have a 94 lot subdivision platted and being constructed at this point in our history is a really big deal. We had, I think, 10 homes in the previous 10 years built in Sweetwater, and so you're talking about a 94 lot subdivision going up. Again, that's a big deal, and we're very proud of that. So thank you for everybody, Misha and Ethan, everybody who's worked on this project. I've got a couple of things that I'd like to also make you aware of. We'd like to congratulate Zachary Cornett and Joshua Harton for continuing to further their careers. They're of course Eddie's employees in the water utilities department. Zachary obtained his seed distribution license, and Joshua obtained his seed groundwater license recently. Both of these licenses require a maximum of 1 year of experience and 100 classroom hours, along with a TCEQ exam and a passing grade of 70. So congratulations to both of them. We're real proud of the work. Eddie, please pass our congratulations along to your staff. We appreciate it. And then while he's here, Corey Stroman, our Assistant Chief of Police, we want to recognize you, Corey, for the promotion. It was well deserved. And congratulations to you and your family. And we look forward to many years of you continuing to work for the Sweetwater Police Department.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Mayor, that's all I have.
Thanks, sir. Call for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.